presentation. So you can go ahead. It's streaming live on YouTube. So a lot of people are going to be listening. So welcome, George, and you can go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nikki. Thank you, GPLT. Thank you, Joseph, for the recording and your efforts. And proud actually that you are our vice president as well in our RRM3, Rinascimento Renaissance Millennium 3. And we welcome Franca Colosso, our executive director, and uh, brave fighter for the women rights. Now I will proceed to present what I have on this issue. Actually, I would like to use the screen, the share screen. Okay, if possible, because most of the things are visual. Here it is. I wonder if you are able to see here everything. Hmm. Uh, Are you able to see? Hello? Huh?
Yes, we can
Yes,
see your screen. Yeah.
Everything is clear.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, this is our presentation. It starts with the nice poster that you created for us, Inspire Inclusion. And I would like to talk about our approach, our special approach as RRM3 or Rinascimento Renaissance Millennium 3. We mainly approach any problem through different levels, as you see. This is our different levels or channels to help our suffering world. First level is spiritual. Spiritual. It is to unite our divided world under humanistic spirituality, respecting and harmonizing all different religions, hence stopping fanaticism. Well, these channels is to hold the world in all issues, in all areas of problems or all the issue concerning man, all his concerns. Okay, and I will apply it later the same pattern, the same sequence on the gender issue. So let me explain it. I started with the spiritual, then I moved to the cultural. The cultural level or channel is to build up understanding bridges between all the different cultural races, ideologies, mentalities, and conflict for conflict resolution. Then thirdly, fraternal. Fraternal, I mean by fraternal, humanistic, humanitarian. It is to launch awareness campaigns urging people to help the victims of war, catastrophes, discrimination, poverty, and persecution. Then our analytical approach or channel is to apply new visual analysis approaches that can effectively diagnose, analyze, design, and follow up solution mechanisms. Then finally, the fifth, which is developmental. And I mean by developmental, it is the channel to design and summon man force, local low cost technologies, investors, and visualizations in order to implement SDG projects. And this is one way or practical way to empower women as well. I say that throughout all these levels, each channel uh, contributes accumulatively to the following one. And that's why I will present it at the end as a circle, a complete cycle. Okay. Uh, in fact, I would like to move to the previous one. possible. Mm. The previous one, as I have attended many times gender issues discussions, seminars, webinars, I had the pleasure uh, to meet Dr. Shaminaz Sheikh, to be invited by the host, Dr. Shaminaz Sheikh, who is a writer, professor, and used to write books about this, where which I shared also my poems and ideas. At that seminar, I displayed some of artworks, as you see, front of you, small size, small pictures from them, to show the integrity of woman, her contribution, her real power, although maybe physically seems like weaker than the man, but in fact the power is inside. And also through the poetry, voicing out her complaints and concerns for any maltreatment or problems or challenges that she has to face. But in this presentation, I would like to focus more on the analytical side, not the cultural side, being or creative side, like being an artist or a poet. Through poetry, the poetry I wrote about woman and woman right, or the art. So I'll focus more in the analytical approach in order to find solutions to the gender problem. So let me start with the spiritual. As I said, we talked before about the different levels or channels of approaching problems or solving problems: spiritual, cultural, fraternal, or humanitarian, analytical, development. So let's consider first the spiritual. The spiritual here, when we work on the spiritual level to deal with this issue, we'll start with echoing what religion says. Okay, many religions or all religions actually talk about the mercy toward woman, the respect of the other sex. So we should echo this through awareness campaign and through writings. And when I talk about spiritual writing, we talk about publishing, broadcasting, gender, spiritual, religious, poetry, and art. Because the spiritual and also the religious poetry and artworks can depict well, express well, and voice out and echo the justice about or taking action in this issue, towards this issue. This is as well as teaching the real notion of power, spiritually and religiously. In fact, the the gender issue is all about understanding the very notion of power, the very notion of power. What does real power mean? Huh? Is it animal power, physical, egocentric power, lustful power, oppressing power, the power of the oppressor towards the oppressed, or rather, as you see in the right side, human power, mental healthy power, self-denying power, compassion and caring, the power of compassion, the power of caring about others, helping others. Okay, all this. So there is a kind of comparison here between the two sides of power or understanding of power. Many people would tend to use the left side. Other people realize that The real power is what you can see on the right side: human, mental, heartly, self-denying, compassionate, caring. So in both this level, I mean the level of spiritual approach or channel or cultural, we need to raise awareness, whether from the religious, spiritual point of view towards power, highlighting the real notion of power, the human power, or through the culture. So when I move to the culture, we find out that the point of connection between the previous channel, which is, as I said, spiritual, and this channel, cultural, what is common here is raising awareness about the real power, raising awareness about the real power. Uh, Consequently, we need also to broaden people's view about the other sex, about the other sex. It is both what men from their early childhood must understand through education, rightful education, how to see the other sex respectfully, okay, and recognize their power, the contribution to humanity. Then raising awareness about gender issue. This is part of the whole picture, the whole scene, huh? Because this is the consequence of our rightful, healthy understanding of the other sex. It is not only about how to view the woman, her position, her real power, her value in humanity. It's also the other side, understanding the real power of man, which is not animal, just physical, not just physical, not just animals, not just lustful, but something related to compassion and care and respectfulness of the human values. Then launching awareness campaigns. All that should be launched through awareness campaigns, through videos, cinemas, series, books, music, songs, all kind of media that help raise awareness and spread these views. Then when we move to the fraternal, and I mean by the fraternal humanitarian also, we see that empowering women through available education is the key to everything. I said here available education because education is not available in all countries for women. In some countries, unfortunately, women are prohibited to get a minimum of education. So education nowadays can be available through and sufficiently reach through media, through the internet, and through other channels. So I mean, the education is the broad sense of education and all the channels of education. Then building more powerful counseling centers, platforms for the gender issues and problems that women may face. Okay, like the domestic violence and the persecution of women, the oppression, and all that, as you see, needs counseling centers, platforms, whether social platforms or built centers, existing centers in the communities, especially the rural communities as well. And this is the non-governmental society activities. We have also gender education. The gender education is very important in education, but as I say, uh, here. I mean, it is not only for the for the woman to be educated, as I said in the first one, but also for the young generation, the new generation, to understand the value and the real power of woman and the real notion of power. Then creating and spreading emergency teams. Sometimes the problems are too bad to tackle or to deal with through negotiation or counseling or awareness raising. So in that case, there must be teams, emergency teams, security that can give the needed security to women who are under attack or under um, maltreatment or persecution. Then when I move to the analytical, I mean here by analyzing the problems, analyzing the problem through different levels. And this is the paradigm we are using in RRM3 that deals with the problems and analyze it visually, mapping out problems instead of using the the the, the, the verbal approach, which doesn't give the clear picture, the clear image, the clear view or scene of the problem. We need a complete scope. So analyzing the gender problems of multi-level scope, and I'll give example for this. Sorry if the picture is not clear, but with through further meeting, I will show you more. And I think, Nikki, you have a record of the previous presentations that I shared with you through GPLT webinars and workshops that I showed this. As you see, the concentric circles at the bottom of this diagram, it shows an analytical map that starts from the individual level, which is in the center, right in the center, then followed by family, then community, then society, then national, international, till we get to the cosmos. And we can, through all these levels, different levels, concentric levels, we can plot the factors, different factors of the problems. Is it coming from the lower levels, the smaller levels of the individual, family, up to the higher levels as society, national and international, or vice versa? It's coming down from the social scene or the international situations and conflicts down to the interstate, down to the national, down until it reaches the individual. So we plot all those factors using those arrows, which differs in their breadth or width according to their quantity or power, intensity, and also they are of different colors. Some of them are green, environmental. Some of them are gray, which is urban, because of the urban situation. There may be problems or challenges, or that buffer or human color, which means could be because of human, or the gray on the left color, which represent an institutional problem. So we have environmental problems, we have urban problems, we have humanitarian problems, we have also institutional problems. All of those problems could be depicted and measured accurately according to our data to form those arrows, whether coming down or coming up from the smaller levels to the higher levels. The upper chart shows the spectrum of opinion about the problems, how the problem is viewed. from one extreme to the opposite extreme. Somebody of the problem solver or the people in the team of discussion could hold for special opinion or approach or view. The opposite one could say quite the opposite, but there is eclectic in between, and there are people who tend to be this extreme or that extreme, and we can plot the different opinions this way. Well, this analytical, it's a part of analytical approach is part of my thesis for problem solving. The thesis is entitled A Geometrical Approach for Problem Solving. It tends to visualize all the components of the problems in a way that we can see, as the doctor would need the X-rays in order to know what is going inside in his patient, in order to be able to do the right diagnosing. In problem solving, you have the same notion, diagnosing. We start with diagnosing. So in order to have accurate diagnosing, the correct diagnosing, from which we start to analyze all the components and then move to the solution decision making, we should visualize it. And this is my theory and my approach to this, as it started in 1980s. Then finally, the fifth level, which is developmental or practical, as you see, it's empowering through income, empowering the woman or women through income generation projects. Income generation projects. Like that, she can be the powerful person, individual in the family that can hold together all the family and sustain them. And this, of course, needs professional training for the woman in order to be able to do these generation projects. I talk here about small projects. You can start with very small projects. And then TOT, as you see in the bottom, TOT, which means training of trainers, because in order to spread this movement, we should start by elected people who can delegate this knowledge and this experience, practical experience of creating projects and being productive and helpful to one's family, and can move it from the trainers to other people who can also be trainers lately. So finally, I would like to say that those 5 channels which characterize our approach of problem solving and crisis management in the RRM3. As I say, spiritual, cultural, fraternal, humanitarian, analytical, scientific, if you want to say, then practical, developmental, are all connected, interconnected between each other. So one one of them should lead to the other one, like this in a complete cycle. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Nikki. So nice of you. And I would like to stop the share in order to be seen again. Okay.
Okay, George, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to listen to you. Really, it is. Thank you for your time today. We appreciate you a lot.
Thank you. All the best.
And all the work that you're putting in to all these processes that you put together, it's just really, truly, absolutely awesome. And it is appreciated. Always know that.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you very much,
If there's
We
any
are streaming
difficulty,
live also on YouTube. So let's see if we get some positive feedback. Franca, thank you for joining today.
thank you, Franca.
And
Thank you.
Joseph, thank you for setting up the Zoom.
And
Thank
thank you
Thank you very
for all
much.
the
It
effort
was a pleasure.
being done for
Okay.
and yes, that you need. Okay, thank you.
Have a nice evening. Ciao.
Thank you. And Nikki, in case that anything I've explained is not clear because of the limited time of preparation, you just tell me. I can send you the original data or the original charts in order to use it. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.